and at the same juncture, I would like to express my views over a given topic, over a preferred topic, and the topic that named the portrait of a lady. Okay, and in addition to, let me familiarize you with this story. The story this is belongs to CBSE. The story completely belongs to CBSE, and in addition to, quite earlier I said this that this story is belongs to CBSE. This is the incorrect one. Okay, the story that belongs to CBSE. This is the correct sense one. Okay. In addition to, you know what? As a matter of fact, the story this belongs to grade 11th, and in addition to, the story comes in the examination. So, you know what? By the way of the exams, the story this is crucial, significant, and vital. And even the last day, one of my followers, he used to ask me for relating or even expressing the views over this story, as he wanted to learn the story. And so today I used to read the story, and even that story that is the interesting one, I adored, I loved that story quite much. And furthermore, you know what, that story that is the mind-blowing one, fascinating one, interesting one, and even that is quite much astonishing one as well. Even there is a turning point as well, and even that story that relates about the bond between the grandmother, and the boy. Okay, and in addition to, you know what, this is the pretty emotional story, and in addition to, I felt like weeping. I felt like sobbing inconsolably and weeping bitterly after reading the story. And in addition to, you know what, at last the emotional turning point takes place in the story, and so due to which I explode myself, wanting to weep or sob inconsolably. That's the fact. Okay, and even yet here is no follower of mine. I'm just brooding over. I'm just musing at and wondering at that should I start the story, should I commence the story or not. Even you know what? Today I have been running a fever. Not a high one, but the mild one. And so due to which, quite earlier I used to make a video about English, and quite earlier I used to speak English, and so my voice that wasn't clear as I was feeling ill. I was running a fever. Okay, now are you Arun Rawat? Here is no one. Arun, are you present over here so that I should commence speaking about the story or relating about the story? No one. Incidentally, one came on a live streaming. Okay, then no problem about that fact. Okay, and I should commence speaking the story, as I'm just brooding over that no follower would come today. It belongs to my destiny. It's according to my luck. I'm an auspicious. Okay, very firstly, you know what? I never try to have belief or faith on the luck and destiny. But you know what? Whenever I come live, so I just try my level best to just have faith on luck and destiny. As coming live and having the followers, that depends on the destiny, on the content, on the orator, speaker, and the style, the creative style as well. The creative style, and even the manner, the way in which the speaker is relating something. Okay, and let me just familiarize it with the story firstly. Okay, line by line, I would try to express my views. Line by line, it meant that I would not try to miss any line which belongs to the story. Okay, I would relate each and everything completely. Many a time I have observed one thing, many a time I observe Nope, I observe. This is correct. Okay, as I is plural. Many a time I observe one thing, which is that there are sizable and ample videos on YouTube regarding the stories, the English CBSE or ISC stories or ICSE stories. But the orators, they never try the level best to explain each and everything. Even they miss some of the small and specific and even crucial parts. That's the fact. And so today I would like to express my views quite clearly and efficiently and effectively as well. Let's get straight into the story firstly. Okay, so the grandmother, she was like the other grandmothers. In addition to, you know what, the grandmother, she was old. In addition to, she was having wrinkles. Okay, and even, you know what, for 20 years she used to look the same. For complete 20 years, the old woman, she used to look quite much same on account of complexion, facial structure, size, body, height, each and everything. Okay, and in addition to that woman, she was pretty earlier, quite earlier. The people used to relate this that she was pretty, and even she was having a husband as well, and she was having babies as well. This was the commonly held view of the people. And nextly, you know what? In the residence, there was a photograph that was hung on the wall, and in addition to, as a matter of fact, that photograph that used to belong to the grandfather of the boy, and in addition to, the grandfather used to put on the loose attires, the loose shirt, and even the grandfather, he was having white beard. Okay, and especially the long white beard, which used to touch his, which used to touch the best part of his chest. Okay, and furthermore, you know what, it looks like that the grandfather, he was 100 years old. In addition to, it used to appear quite much that grandfather, he wasn't having any wife and any child, and instead he was having lots and lots of grandchildren. And in addition to, let me familiarize you with the outfits, with the outlook of the grandma. The grandma, you know what, she was short heighted. Even the grandma, she was fat, she was fatty, obese and stout. And in addition to, as a matter of fact, you know what, the grandma, she was always bent. And in addition to, it meant that her posture, that was incorrect one, and so always she used to lean over something, she used to bend, and her back, that used to be bent on the regular basis. In addition to, you know what, as a matter of fact, that grandma, she used to look same for over time, as she had already grown old. That was the hidden fact. And in addition to, you know what, as a matter of fact, one day she was just requiring to be, according to me, to just live or dwell along with his grandson, along with her grandson, as the parents of the son. It meant that the son or the daughter or the daughter-in-law of that lady, they went to the city for some moment of time, and so the grandson, he was requiring to be with his grandma. And so the grandma, she used to wake him up in the finally morning, and thereafter she used to made him ready for go to the school, and even thereafter she used to go to the school along with him, as the school that was attached to the temple. And there, you know what, The thing is that according to me, the priest of the temple, he used to teach about the alphabets and even about the prayer to the grandma and to the grandson. And even there were some school going students who used to learn the alphabets and used to sing the prayer of the god. And especially they used to sit in a line in the veranda. And in the meantime, the grandmother, she used to just read the scriptures, and after reading the scriptures, she used to go home, and there she used to just give the stale, thick chapatis to the dogs to eat. In addition to, you know what? As a matter of fact, the grandma, she used to eat the stale chapatis along with butter, along with sugar on the like regular basis, and the grandson, he too used to have the stale chapatis, the thick thick chapatis along with the butter and sugar on the regular basis. And secondly, grandma, she used to take a lovely bath, and even meanwhile she used to sing the prayer. Okay, and then she used to made the boy ready, and even meanwhile she used to speak the prayer so that the boy can learn the prayer by heart. And he used to listen to grandma as a voice that was ears catching one, lovely one, fascinating one, elegant one. But he didn't bothered learning about the language, even learning about the prayer as well. That's the fact. And in addition to, before going to the school, he used to take the wooden slate and some other materials along with him for going to the school, and even for learning about subjects, about contents of the subjects as well. That's the fact. And in addition to, you know what? As a matter of fact, after that, one day the boy, he was requiring to go to the city for, according to me, for academics. And so he went over there along with his grandmother, and they both used to share one room. But the grandmother, she didn't try to go to the school along with him, as a motor bus used to come for taking the boy. And even the boy was requiring to just study in the one like 0 follower. सॉरी दीदी, थोड़ा लेट हो गया. Okay, no problem. I said the entire half of the story. The portrait, which one? The portrait of a lady. Okay, I'm telling that one once again. You know what? Today I'm running a mild fever, and due to which I'm unable to speak English. But for you today, I've come live. Okay, very firstly, I would try to express my views line by line according to the story. I would not miss any part of the story. Let me start. Okay. में ही समझा देना चैप्टर. Wow. I will speak in English, okay? But I will try to speak the simple English so that you can easily understand me, okay? Very firstly, the grandmother, she was like the grandmother of others. It meant that the grandmother in the story, she is like the normal grandmothers, okay? There is no difference between the grandmother of the story and between other grandmothers, okay? And in addition to, the story is the emotional story, and here at last the turning point that takes place, that comes. And even the turning point that suggests completely that the video That the story, at the story that is the emotional one. Okay, and the story relates about the bond, the relationship between the grandmother and her grandson. Okay, it completely reveals the love between the two companions. Okay, and so let's get straight into the story firstly. Okay, and even the grandmother, she was old and she was having wrinkles on her entire face. What are wrinkles? Wrinkles are the lines on the face which comes due to age. Like if someone would like to do like this, and so someone would be getting the lines on the forehead. Okay, the straight, the horizontal line, or the vertical line, the straight one. So these are the wrinkles, and mostly people who are having the dry skin, they get the wrinkles at the earliest. Okay, and so the old woman, she was completely old and she was having wrinkles on her entire face. Okay, and usually people used to say this, that quite earlier she was young and pretty, she was beautiful as well, and she was having a husband. And you know what, the fact is that in the story, the woman, the grandmother, she is widow, and her husband's photograph photo, that is hanging on the wall. And even in the photo, the old man, he used to put on the loose clothes, the loose attires, like the loose shirt. And even he was having the white beard, it means dari, white one, even the long one which used to cover the best part of his chest, it means that up to hair. And from hair, the white beard, the long white beard. And it used to appear, it seemed completely that he was 100 years old. Okay, and in addition to it, appeared to the boy that that man, he wasn't having any wife, any child. Instead, he was having lots and lots of grandchildren. Arun, what's happening? Don't you want to listen to me? Are you unable to understand me, or what's happening? Hmm? Okay, he has gone. If he would come, then I would explain the story. Okay, even the last day, I wanted to express my views over the advantages of climbing stairs. So let me relate that one firstly. Okay, you know what? Due to climbing stairs, what one can do? One can just enhance, even move. Okay, now you have come. Should I continue speaking about the story? Tell me. Hmm? What's the problem along with you? You are coming, you are going, you are coming, you are going. Let me say something related to my own. Okay, you know what? Due to climbing stairs, one can just mold the functions of the body organs. You know what? As a matter of fact, the heartbeat that can be influenced due to climbing the stairs. And in addition to, according to me, the fact is that the entire body that functions in a quite good manner if one tries to climb the stairs. Okay, now are you Arun Pravat? Why are you going many a time? Should I not continue with the story? Or don't you want to listen to me? You know what this motive? Yeah. Okay, will you go? Firstly, aware me. No, दीदी, मैं नहीं गया. But for me, really, you went, and so then I felt demotivated, and so I used to commence with the advantages of climbing the stairs. As you went away. Okay, according to me, it's the technical error. Okay. Okay, so it means that in the Midas, in the middle, you didn't go away. Am I right? Say yes. Say yes. I was listening. You were saying the advantage of climbing upstairs. Yeah. Okay, let me continue with the story. The portrait of the old woman from the starting. Okay. Very firstly, the old woman, she was like the old grandmother. She was like the grandmother, like the other grandmothers. There was no difference between her and between other grandmothers. The second fact is that she was old. She was having wrinkles on her entire face. Wrinkles that meant lines. Lines on the face, the horizontal lines or even the vertical lines. Okay. It happens due to having the dry skin. Okay, the third fact is that for complete 20 years, she used to look the same. There was no difference in her look for complete 20 years. Really. Even you know what? Right away, I'm looking young, but after some years, I would look adult and then I would look old. But she used to look the same for complete 20 years. As she had already grown quite much old, and so due to it, her body, her complexion, composition, flexibility, that wasn't influencing, that wasn't changing at all. Okay, for instance, my height that has increased, that has grown quite much, and so my height that would not increase as that has already increased. So this is the case along with her age, along with her facial structure as well, and so she used to look same for 20 years consistently. Okay, and even the people, they used to say this, that quite earlier she was young, she was pretty, she was beautiful, and she was having a lovely husband. And in the story, the grandmother, she is widow. Okay, and her husband's portrait, that in the story, that is hanging on the wall, and the old man, and the old man, he has put it on, wear he has wear old shirt, even the loose attires, especially the loose clothes, and he has been having the white beard, and which has been covering the best part of his chest, like up to here, from here. Okay, and in addition to, you know what, and it seems completely that the old man, he is 100 years old, and it seems that quite earlier he was having no wife, no child. Instead, he was having lots and lots of grandchildren. Okay. And furthermore, the old woman, she was fat, obese, and stout. It means that she was fat. She was short heighted, and she was bent. Her back that was halfly bent. Okay, and it meant that she was unable to stand straight, and so she used to bend like this every time. And in addition to, you know what, her grandson, he was requiring to stay along with her for some time, as the parents of the child, they went to the city And so the boy was requiring to live along with his grandmother. And so the grandmother, she used to wake him up in the morning time, and she used to make him ready for going to the school. And in addition to, what, that old woman, she used to whisper the prayer. She used to say slowly the prayer of the god. Okay. And in addition to, she used to take bath while saying the prayer of the Lord. And even she used to make him dress up while saying the prayer of the Lord, so that he would learn the prayer by heart. But he used to listen to her as her voice that was attractive one, but he didn't bothered learning the prayer. Okay. And in addition to, what, for the breakfast, the boy, he used to eat the stale thick chapati. What is stale? Stale means basa, basi moti roti. Okay, stale thick chapati along with butter and sugar. Okay, by spreading the butter and sugar on the chapati, and then used to have that one as a breakfast in the morning time. And his grandmother, she too used to have the same breakfast. And in addition to, thereafter they used to take the slate board for study. In the olden days, the people, they used to use the slate board. They were poor. Maybe I'm not aware. Okay. And even they were fond of using the slate board. You can understand slate board, on which the people, they used to draw something with the use of chalk. Okay. And the boy used to take the red pen ink pot along with him up to the school. And even, what, why the grandma used to go along with him up to the school, as the school that was attached to a temple, to a mandir. Okay. And the priest, it means pujari of the mandir, he used to teach the alphabets of English, even the prayer. And so some of the school going children, they used to sit in a line, and they used to just say the prayer so as to learn the prayer by heart. And on the contrary, the grandma, she used to read the sculptures. I don't know about sculptures, but she used to read the sculptures by sitting in the temple. And even thereafter, the grandma, she used to go, and even the boy, he too used to go away from the temple. And they used to make their way up to the home. And the dogs, they used to follow them. The dogs used to just follow them for having the food. The grandma, she used to just throw the food for the dogs on the street, on the road. And the dogs used to fight against each other for getting the food, for getting the stale chapatis, basi rotiyan. Okay. And in addition to, what, as a matter of fact, even on the regular basis, the boy used to get up and then used to go to school all the day. The grandma, she used to whisper the prayer of the Lord with a rosary. What is a rosary? Rosary is the sacred necklace, dharmic mala, which the women, they just prefer to count while whispering the prayer. Okay. Hope you can understand me. And even, what, the woman, she was fond of just praying the god every day. So the woman, she used to just have the rosary, dharmic bhagwan wali mala, and even she used to whisper the Lord. Even she used to pray to the Lord, to the god. And in addition to, one day, the parents of the child, they came for taking him along with the grandmother, and they all went to the city again. And there the boy got admitted into the English school, and he used to go to the school by the motor bus. Okay. And even, as a matter of fact, the woman, the old woman, the grandmother, and the boy, they both shared the same room. But the woman, she was unable to sent him to the school by going along with him on foot, as the boy used to go to the school by bus or in the bus. Okay, and even the school was the English school, and so when the boy used to go to the home, so the grandmother, she used to ask him about what the teacher taught in the class. So the boy used to relate this, that today the teacher taught me about law of gravitation and Archimedes principles, and even the teacher taught me about the English words. And due to which the grandma, she used to feel upset and said quite much. Why? As she wanted that the teachers, they should teach him about sculptures and gods, the history of God, really. And one day the boy surprised grandma by saying this, that today the teacher, she taught me about music. Still the grandma, she felt upset. Why? As she thought that songs are for beggars, as the beggars, they sing the song for getting the money on the footpath. These are the views, the thoughts, the vichar of grandma. Okay, and so you can just imagine that how illiterate she was and how old she was at that time, purane zamane ki. Okay, and in addition to, there in the village or in the slums area or in the rural area, they were having dogs, the street dogs. But in the city, they didn't explore any dog. So there the grandma, she used to feed the sparrows. Okay, in the afternoon time, the grandma, she used to just divide the bread into some of the pieces, and thereafter she used to just place those one on the roof, on the terrace, on the chat, and the sparrows used to come over there on the regular basis, and the sparrows used to have the bites of the breads. Okay, and all day long, it means for the entire day, for the wholesome day, the grandma, she used to whisper the prayer of the god with the rosary, with the dharmic mala. Okay, and in addition to, then the boy, he went to the university. Okay, and while he was going to the university, okay, as a matter of fact, he was requiring to catch up on the academics, and so he went to the university. There he used to live in the single room. He was having a room on his own, and he used to miss his grandma quite much. And in the meantime, the grandma, she used to just whisper the prayer. She used to just pray the Lord, the God, many a time with the rosary and for all day long. And her happiest hour, that used to be the afternoon, half an hour, while she used to just divide the bread into some of the pieces for the sparrows. Okay, and even quite later, the boy, he went to the abroad, and even he thought us that he would come after 5 years completely, and he thought us that within that time the grandma, she can pass away, she can go to the god, she can go to the paradise, the heaven. And so he went to the railway station along with his grandmother, and still grandmother, she was praying to the god with the rosary, with the dharmic mala. And even the grandmother, she wasn't crying, neither she was crying, nor she was giving any emotion, any facial expression as well. And so quite silently, she used to just kiss the forehead of the boy, and then the boy, he departed. And he thought is that it was the last, even it would be the last physical contact between he himself and between the grandma. And after thinking this, he went inside the train, and you know what, he thought this, that the meeting, that was the last one, but in vain, but to no avail, as after 5 years when he came to his country, so then he saw his grandma on the railway station for taking him. And even He saw this that all day long the grandma she used to whisper the god in the same manner, but in the evening time they used to take a turn. The grandma she used to take the old drum, like even the dholak, and she used to sing that one, and she used to play the dholak. She used to sing the songs. You know what? It happens in the bilawa, in the bhajan. So she used to do that one in the evening time by just calling some of the neighbors, neighbor women, neighbor females. And even the next day of that day, the grandma she felt ill, and the doctors said this that she would be fine pretty soon. But the grandma she felt differently. She thought this that her end is near. And so she thought this that I shouldn't try to waste my time by talking to my siblings, by talking to my family members. She thought this that instead I should try to whisper the Lord, to pray the Lord. Whisper, it means to say something slowly. Okay. She used to pray to the God rather badly and with the rosary, and her siblings, the family members, they used to protest against this as they wanted to talk to her at last, but in vain. And while whispering, she died. Her moves they used to stop. Her lips used to stop moving. Her lips used to stop moving quite much. The rosary, the dharmic mala, that fell on the ground from her moving hands and fingers, and then she was no more. And even her grandchildren they came over there for taking her, and even they placed her on the ground. And you know what, the fact is that the birds they came, the birds came as the birds were feeling sad, the birds were feeling sorry on her death, the birds were mourning over the death. Mourning, it means that matam manana, mourning over the death. And even, you know what, the birds they came, they used to just circle the lady, and they used to weep bitterly. And the daughter-in-law, it means bahu of the grandmother or the daughter of the grandmother, she used to come over there, she used to spread the pieces of the bread over there, but the birds they didn't try to notice that one. The birds used to ignore the pieces of the bread, and the birds used to be over there, the birds used to mourn over there, the birds used to cry over there. And then when the dead body, when the corpse of the woman, that when that used to go away from the birds, when the people used to just uplift that one, raise the dead body, and they just tried the level best to go up to the funeral, that means Shobha Yatra. Okay, and so the birds they used to fly quietly one by one in a line, in a row. And so this is the emotional story. Okay, it completely reveals the bonding between the grandson and his grandmother. Earlier they used to live together, but later on the ending, the departure, the separateness that used to come. And even you know what, it completely reveals that the grandmother she was fond of praying the god quite much. She was having a faith, a complete faith on the god. Okay, she used to like the god quite much. And even I have said the story right away in the simple English. I hope you have understood the story. Have you understood? Have you got my points? Tell me. Yep. Okay. You know what? Quite hardly I can speak right away as my throat that isn't working really. Okay, so why today you have come late in my live streaming? Today you have come after complete 12 minutes. Really. I thought this that today you would not come, and so I was sad. Tell me, वाईफाई से काम चलता है मेरा, तो मैं क्या करूँ? Hotspot. It's hotspot. Yes. Okay, it means that your mom, she uses the Wi-Fi. Even she uses the data. It means that she uses the apps like WhatsApp, Facebook, Insta, YouTube. But my mom, she never tries to use any such app. Okay, you should try to show my one of the videos to your mom. Then she would understand that it's crucial to give hotspot to you. You can ask me questions. उनको इंग्लिश नहीं आती, फिर भी सुना दे क्या जा रहा. Okay, you can ask me questions. अगला चैप्टर भी पढ़ा दिया क्या आपने? अगला चैप्टर भी पढ़ा दिया क्या आपने? No. Are you asking or are you telling? पढ़ा दिया क्या आपने? पढ़ लिया. Oh, that is photograph. That is a poem. Okay. You know what? That is the Herculean difficult one. I tried to understand that one. Halfly I understood and half is left. And that is the meaningless one, really. There was no meaning behind the poem, behind writing the poem as well. The next day I would try to understand that one clearly, as I would try to read that one 5 to 6 times, then I would say about that one. Okay, firstly, let me aware of the fact that have you understood the entire story and clearly, without missing any point, any single point. Tell me. मैं अब रीड करूँगा खुद से. Yes, why not? But the language of the story, that is the easiest one. I understood each and everything. Even there was written about the games. तब समझ आएगा मुझे, ऊपर से समझ आएगा. It means that haven't you understood me? Haven't you understood the story which I was saying? Have you understood clearly? Just tell me. You sleep when I ask the questions. समझ आ गया दीदी. समझ गया दीदी. Oh, समझ गया. Okay, very firstly, last time you used to write. Very firstly, let me see. Mm, okay, last time you used to write पढ़ लिया and now समझ गया. पढ़ लिया. I read this पढ़ा दिया. समझ गया. I read this differently. समझा दिया. समझ गया. Something different I read. I'm not good at reading these types of messages. That's the fact. Even I can't put down these types of messages. Okay, and even one day, very firstly, have you ever visited Orcha, which is next to Jhansi? Orcha, Ram Temple. Have you ever visited Orcha? ये क्या है? It's a temple, prominent temple, famous temple. राम. मैं कभी चार दीवारी से बाहर नहीं गया. वाह बेटा. 148, that is enough. चार दीवारी, 4 walls. Okay, Orcha. That is prominent, renowned. It means that is famous for the Ram Mandir, the Ram temple. Okay, and in addition to, you know what? The thing is that one day I used to write the wrong spelling of the word named Orcha. I used to put down Archa, ARCHAA. That is ORCHAA. I got to know about this. And even quite hardly and barely, I can put down those types of words and messages which you write or which you put down or take down. Even while I was explaining you the story, I said upset and sad. I never try to use these words. Really. I prefer to use crestfallen, affable, terribly despondent, depressed, dejected, disappointed. Okay, but for the better understanding of yours, I used the आपको बद्रीनाथ या केदारनाथ पीटीए है पता है बद्रीनाथ केदारनाथ. Okay, I know about these both places. Badrinath, Kedarnath. Kedarnath, that is located in Uttarakhand. Am I right? And you are from Uttarakhand. Badrinath, that too is located in the hilly area. I've never visited these such areas. Char Diwali, the same case. I've never went outside Char Diwali, the 4 walls. Okay, you can ask me the questions. दीदी ट्यूशन लगती मैंने 4. Oh, you go to the 4 coachings? Or you go at 4 o'clock in the evening time? Tell me. 4 coaching of which subjects? What are the subjects? English, accounts, commerce, economics. applied math, accounts, yes. Hmm, economics, Very firstly, economics, that is the easiest subject. You should try to read that one. But the 11th grade economics, that is pretty harder, really. But the 12th grade, that one, that is the easiest one. I read all the chapters. Firstly, I used to read each and every line of each and every chapter. Then I used to explain each and every line to myself in Hindi. For instance, I read one line, then I used to explain that one to myself in Hindi, then I read another line, then I used to explain that one myself in Hindi, and so on, and thereby I learned about economics in class 12th. You can ask me questions, just take demo. If you are not interested in the commerce subject, commerce stream, then you can change the stream. And when the result would come, the result of CBSE grade 10th. Okay, you are 17 years old. When I was 17 years old, so I had already passed out the 12th grade. PCM में ज़्यादा पढ़ना पड़ेगा. Yes. Yes, the chemistry book, that too also would be the hefty one, heavy one, thick one. Okay, you can ask me questions. Okay, very firstly, how have you got my channel? Question ही तो नहीं है. Okay, how have you got my channel? My channel that never comes in the YouTube search list. Then how you got my channel and how that man got my channel? This is my first question, how have you got my channel? Then second question is that how you got to know or how you came to know that that country, Costa Rica, that is the poorest country. Last day my elder sister, she got me aware that that is the poorest country of the world. That comes under top 10 poorest country list, really. Okay, and in addition to, I used to relate about that country as I wanted to impress the man. I wanted that he should watch out my video and thereby increase the watch out time for just retaining, saving the man. I used to 4 मशीन से इंग्लिश अच्छी करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. सो यट मैं आपके चैनल फोर मशीन से इंग्लिश अच्छी करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ. सो यट मैं आपके चैनल आ गया. What's this? Let me say data. Enough, it's enough. 194 MB. Okay, Costa Rica played in recent World Cup football. Are you present? If you're present, it's a big achievement for them. So न्यूज़ में आया यहाँ था. Oh, what is country? Okay. Okay, tell me how you got my channel. You present? Where is follower 0? Arun, are you present? Present. If you are present, then say yes. As here the follower that is 0. Randomly recommended हो गया. Okay, मेरा वीडियो randomly. Okay. Okay, you can ask me questions. You can ask me questions if you would like. Here the follower that is still 0. This is the issue in network 1. You can ask me questions. What's your favorite dish? What's my favorite dish? Aloo ki tikki. Aloo ki tikki, that is my favorite dish. ऐसा जिसके साथ आप 14-15 रोटी खा जाओगे. खा जाओ. Aloo ki tikki. The tikki of potato. Even my favorite color, that is red. Favorite colors are red and orange. Okay. Even I like frocks, short frocks. उसमें रोटी भी खाते हैं. Oh no. Okay. One can't have chapati along with aloo ki tikki. Okay, but you said this, that tell me the dish with the help of which you can have 15 to 14 chapatis. So I said aloo ki tikki. Okay. You can ask me questions. Just ask me questions. Okay, what snowfalls? snowfalls होती है? No, never. But there in Uttarakhand, the snowfall that happens, according to me, that happens. Am I right? Tell me. Is there snowfall happens? Just say yes or no. यहाँ हर बार होती है. लकी मी. Okay, you can ask me questions. You know what? I am bad at luck. I thought is that it's time for departure in December. Then I got 2 followers. Quite earlier, I was having merely 0, then 1. Okay, now the follower is 1. Okay, you can ask me questions or else I would go. And then you can have the dinner, the supper, then you can get into a slumber. Okay, do you wanna ask me questions? I'm out of question now. Okay, you are running out of question. Okay, for instance, my car that is running out of diesel, it means that my car that is not having the diesel. Slumber mean deep sleep. I told you this earlier. Deep sleep. Gehri Neend is called slumber. Okay. I told this to you earlier, but you have forgotten. Do you want to ask me any question? Just tell me. Tell me, or should I say bye? Jai Shri Ram. Good night. Good night. Okay, whatever I say about the alternatives of the about the meanings as well, meanings of the words, so try to remember them by using that one, like the slumber. Use this one on the regular basis, then you would remember this for over time. Okay, use this one, slumber, so that you would not forget about this easily. Okay, Jai Shri Ram. Good night. कल फोटोग्राफ पढ़ा देना. Okay, I would try. Okay, I would try. But you have to come on time. Okay, I messaged you earlier, 20 minutes ago. So I thought this that you would come at the exact and precise time. But cut it no wise, but do no well, but in vain. लेकिन कोई फायदा नहीं हुआ. Good night, bye.